All right, a very warm welcome to One on One, the show that gives you a platform to get to understand different people from different spheres, and of course, those who shape the news agenda of Rwanda and beyond. Today, we are very privileged to have none other than Mr. Mugabo Damien. He is the Director General of the Rwanda Cooperatives Agency, and of course, we'll be getting to understand how the agency operates, and of course, what you need to know about the common law that will be applying for all all cooperatives in the East African community. These and much more right here in the program. My name is Eugene Anangwe. A warm welcome to you. Now, Mr. Mugabo, welcome to One on One.
Thank you.
Yes, so very quickly, you are representing an agency that has to do with, let me call it a culture that is being pushed for, that is being encouraged, that is having people working in units, having people working in cooperatives, for them to be able to achieve some of the things that they're doing, either on their daily lives or as a source of livelihood. So how easy does that push help you to perform your duties?
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me as a representative of Rwanda Cooperative Agency, an agency which, as you told, is a priority. The program that it runs is a priority for our government because it's a priority for our government to develop people, to make them alleviate poverty. And we think that cooperatives are a good tool to allow people get out of poverty. It's very important.
All right.
And since now 2005, 2006, government put in place mechanisms and legal instruments to do so, and to let people really alleviate poverty.
All right. So the main focus here is using the cooperatives to enable people, have financial empowerment and be able to alleviate poverty, as you say. So let's talk about those who probably have a feeling of, I don't really want to join a cooperative. I don't have trust in cooperatives. I feel like at the end of the day, it takes long for me to eventually get what I want to get. What do you tell such people, and what do you think of that particular mindset?
Yeah, some people think that cooperatives are for poor people, poorest among poor people. It isn't true, because cooperative is a model of management. It's a private entity that is there to make people rich by making profit in their businesses that they share with other people.
Okay.
Simply, it's a model of management, and anyone, myself including, we are entitled to join cooperatives.
So realities, or speaking from a realistic point of view, today as we speak, as you say, that cooperatives is not just for those who are very poor or poor in the society. Now, looking at the realistic point of view today as we speak, isn't this the reflection of what is happening? That
Exactly.
Many people are just feeling like it's
Exactly.
just for the poor.
Exactly. Poor people are members of cooperatives. And of course, most of our cooperatives are for poor people. But we have a lot of cooperatives that are managed and run by people from middle class of our society, and even from our people who are relatively rich, businessmen. Didn't you see in Gisozi big houses, big buildings built by people, businessmen, united in their cooperatives? That's proof that cooperatives are not only for poor people.
All right.
And as I told it to you, cooperatives, it's a spirit, a commitment to act with others, because alone we are not always
able to achieve
achieve
some of the things we want.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So let's talk about the trust then. Because some time or some years ago, there was a sort of scandal where we had some cooperatives that were alleged to have embezzled funds, or some members who felt that their monies just got lost like that. So how do we, before you, or as you answer this question, maybe you can also bring us up to date or update us on exactly what happened later. But how then do we build trust and confidence among the common people who wish to join cooperatives when such incidents take place?
Yes, that's a good question. Cooperatives, I would first of all define for you what is a cooperative. A cooperative is an entity where people are have agreed to work together to reach an objective, an economic objective for profit making. And those people accept to follow a certain
codes of conduct
exactly,
and rules. Yes.
Exactly. But cooperatives have their rules, regulations, and there is a law, a national law, organizing cooperatives and allowing us to monitor them. Then, cooperatives, if they are embezzled by their managers or their staff or their leaders, it can happen. It is not because they are cooperatives. It is due, for me, it is due to the nature of the human beings.
So you're trying to say, or to distance the name cooperatives from these accusations and embezzlement,
because all other businesses are embezzled. There are many other businesses which are embezzled, but this isn't an excuse for us. That's why cooperatives being shared by many people, government has a responsibility to monitor them. That's why our agency have to monitor them. We have to make sure that the law is complied for by those leaders of the cooperatives, the managers of cooperatives, and of course by the members themselves.
So do you take blame then as an agency for what happened in your face? It happened in the existence of the agency. Do you take any blame for whatever happened in these embezzlement cases that took place?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why we as an agency, we are the regulatory body of the cooperative, the whole cooperative movement in the country. And as such, we are entitled to follow, to monitor what is going on. And when we organize inspections, we organize audits, we prosecute defaulters. When we observe that there is an embezzlement somewhere, we intervene and immediately, and we conduct audit. And when somebody
is found guilty,
we prosecute him. We are judicial members of judicial police.
So you have the powers to
in matters
yes.
Regarding only cooperatives.
So what I want to understand, and my listeners probably also want to understand, is during this time, because it's very important we clear the air on this issue so that we don't see or ever hear probably of either the same or something similar to that. So during that time when this embezzlement took place, was your institution there? Were you still in charge? And what can you tell the citizens today, either for those who had this problem affecting them, and as a body that you rightly say here that is in charge of regulating and monitoring that rules are followed? Would you say that today you can stand here or sit here in our studios and on this show and say, we apologize as an agency to anything that happened that might have scared away people into thinking cooperatives?
You should, I think, ask your question otherwise, I think. I could apologize for something that I did myself.
Okay.
But if it is done by somebody else, I can apologize if I don't do my duties to take to take him and make clear that this person is
prosecuted.
You see?
So what you're saying is,
but
yes,
what I can tell you, what I can apologize for, is that the system is there. People are really, some people are working against the system, and if we can't observe everything that is done everywhere, and whenever it is necessary, maybe that's something that we have to work on
even harder, right?
Yes, we have to work on to make sure that in every corner of this country we can anytime observe what is done and what people, how many people, or how they did embezzle their cooperatives. We are building
the institution and the system that will prevent such
maybe
mistakes from happening.
In some years coming, we could have computerized system, which could allow us to monitor what is done everywhere in this country.
So when do you think we can be able to get this? Because looking at Rwanda and the way the country is actually positioning itself when it comes to issues of ICT, you'd expect probably that may have been one of the priorities that were put in place to ensure that we have a digitalized system that is enabling us to do what you're saying, monitor. We are able to monitor transactions. We go paperless. We go digital. So don't you think that we are taking too much time from taking advantage of the investment that is being put in
from
for
which
ICT?
From which time? Ask me when the agency has been put in place.
When?
In 2008.
2008. This is almost 6 years, right?
Yes. We had at that moment 2,000 cooperatives. We have now 7,000 cooperatives. Do you see?
So over 5,000 joined, new cooperatives were created between this period.
Yes, it is.
And we still haven't been able to put up a digitalized system.
To digitalize a system, you know what it takes. It takes a long time. And you see, what was urgent for you is to put in place that digitalized system without cooperatives. I think what we had to do, first of all, it was to mobilize people. We have to sensitize them to join cooperatives, because we are convinced that joining cooperatives, people are getting out of poverty. We had to build a system in our cooperative movement management. You see, bookkeeping, internal controls, management, all those things.
There are those who feel probably, because as you answer this also, those who feel that maybe the Rwanda Cooperatives Agency's job has been reduced, and probably you guys from wherever you are in your offices, you have less work. Because number one, most institutions that are financing people already have put some guidelines and rules that you need to be in a cooperative already to be able to access these goodies.
How
do
they do it? How do they do it? Are you sure that it makes it look like according to the principles and the values of cooperatives? That's our role.
So your role is just to monitor, to referee.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. It's a good thing that people, NGOs, even government institutions, really
they push for this. They advocate for this.
People.
But when you say that you are going to organize awareness campaigns. My friend, it's just good to be also realistic. We haven't had any, or I have not personally had any advertisement or any promotion running on any media house, not alone Contact FM, that is calling for the citizens to join cooperatives and has a signature at the end. This message is brought to you by the Rwanda Cooperatives Agency. So at the end of the day, it feels like you have taken a back seat and have let the other institutions to do this job of sensitizing people.
No. You are there. First of all, we as an agency, we are there to coordinate all initiatives taken by individuals or institutions, governmental or non-governmental. Our first duty is to make sure that all those things are done correctly and according to the law, according to the policy. That's our first role.
Okay.
Otherwise, when you are going to form your cooperative, I am not obliged to be there. You do it, but at the end of the day,
you will come in to monitor and see.
Yes. So see whether it has been done,
following the procedures or not.
Yes.
So do you agree with me, though, at the end of the day, that there needs to be more from your agency in terms of this public awareness creation exercise? Even the tidbits, the did you knows, the what you need to know, or what is important when you are registering or creating a cooperative, signed by the Rwanda Cooperatives Agency.
But it is done, my friend.
Oh.
It is done not maybe in this medium. Maybe no. But I think we are starting now.
From this discussion.
Actually, it is not the first time that I come in this studio.
Yes, exactly.
I came alone to join your studios here, meaning that it is not the first time I come here. But be aware that we are really committed to
increasing
with media, with other
platforms.
Yes.
All right.
But frankly speaking, we have to face problems of procurement.
So procurement is what is standing on the way.
No, we have last year we have advertised a tender for precisely advertise our messages. I don't think that CFM came on board.
All right. Because when you talk of the issue of tendering, because I wanted us also to touch on the setting of a common law on cooperatives by the EAC, but Let's just quickly touch on that procedure of tendering. There are those who have debated and argued and said, how do you tender as a media? Because you have an audience. When you need to use media, the most important thing to do that is accurate for you is to do a survey. That do they reach the target audience that I reach or I want? And instead of tendering, what do you tender as a media house, honestly?
Oh, no, we have national law on public procurement.
Does it apply? Is it a common yardstick for everybody, even media?
No. No, you are joking. Because, you see, we have our national law on public procurement.
All right.
And we have to really to comply with.
All right.
With, and we could maybe discuss it
in another forum. I agree totally. It's a debate that has to get another platform. Let's then quickly jump into this plan that we are seeing across different media outlets, that the East African community is actually set to have a common law on cooperatives. The hope is that by December 2014, quickly just let us know what and how this will affect the Rwandan cooperatives, and the good side versus the fears, and how we're going to deal with those fears, just very quickly.
That draft law has been initiated by ALR, the East African
Legislative
Assembly. It was discussed in, I think, practically all governments.
So how do we stand to benefit from it once passed into law?
First of all, let me. I am sure that you know how the process. Yes, but let me tell you first of all how myself was informed on that law, on that draft law. We have attended a meeting where we had to discuss about this law. We had some comments that we submitted to the team that presented to us that law, that draft law.
So if you can give us quick takeaways, because also our time is running very fast. Just quick takeaways. How good is it?
Globally, what I can say, tell
yes.
you, we are happy with that law. It can be possible that in each country it could be some specificities, but those specificities don't hinder the whole program of putting in place a common law for the whole community. What is very interesting in that law is that if this law is adopted, we could better integrate our cooperative movement within
the region.
our region,
right.
And even between our region and the whole Africa.
All right.
It could, in addition, it could facilitate and make easier the exchanges between our countries.
In terms of cooperative issues.
In terms of cooperative issues.
All right.
And advocacy could be done more easier than it is done now. But as I told you, we have to respect specificities
of each individual member state. Do you think we'll beat the deadline, December? Are we going to make it?
I think it is possible.
All right.
I think it is possible. It depends on the calendar, on the agenda of the era, not on us.
Are there any specific fears? Apart from those specificities, could you go specifically into any concerns by Rwanda specifically?
Those fears
or concerns.
About,
let's call them concerns.
We have some technical fact that we have to handle with our colleagues, technicians in Kenya, in Uganda, and so on.
Just one? Mention just one technical issue. Is there any specific that you can mention?
Yes.
Right.
For example, we have to handle the issue of how financial cooperatives are treated in that law. That's one thing. But it is not a big issue. We have already discussed it with our colleagues from Kenya, not from Uganda, from Kenya, and from IADA. And we have been told that that thing has been catered for.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mugabo, for your time. Thank you for sharing with us all this many information or news concerning the issues of cooperatives in the country. And of course, we're hoping to see many join cooperatives, because you insist that it is one of the models of poverty eradication. And of course, we will be monitoring and helping and ready to partner with your institution in dealing with all these matters. Asante sana for your time. There you have it. One-on-one comes to an end at this particular moment. Thank you so much for the comments that we keep receiving on our Twitter handles and of course the YouTube links that we post. You'll be able to get this and other shows there on YouTube. The hashtag to use for conversations online is 101RW. My name is Eugene Anangwe. Goodbye for now.